listeners. Welcome back to our podcast, where we compare countries and hopefully make you chuckle along the way. It's Mira here, ready to dive into another adventure. Ooh.
Hey everybody, Leo's in the house. Or rather in the studio, surviving on lukewarm coffee and witty observations. Mira, are you sure you didn't rig the thermostat again? This place is freezing.
Only with love, Leo. Anyway, you guys won't believe what happened to me this week. I was trying to be all domestic and bake a cake, right?
Oh, this sounds like a disaster already. Please tell me you didn't set the kitchen on fire.
Not quite, but almost. I decided to try a new recipe from a celebrity chef. It involved, and I quote, folding the batter gently like you're tucking a baby into bed.
Wow, that chef clearly never met a real baby, or tried baking with you.
I got so into the gentle tucking that I ended up whisking the poor batter into oblivion. It was flatter than your joke sometimes, Leo.
Ouch, low blow, Mira, even for you. But I bet it still tasted better than anything I could bake. So, flat cake it is?
So I ended up with this dense, sad excuse for a cake. I think I invented a new form of edible concrete. I actually served it.
Serve is brave enough to try. You dog.
My book club, Leo. They were very polite, but I saw the struggle in their eyes. One of them even asked for a glass of water after every bite.
But you're a menace, Mira. But hey, at least you have a new story for the podcast. And your friends are probably still talking about your cake, whether they want to or not. But before we dive into today's destination, don't forget to subscribe us by clicking the like button.
Exactly, Leo. Well, that culinary catastrophe reminds me. This time we're comparing to fascinating countries, Japan and the Netherlands. They are so different. Wow.
Japan and the Netherlands. From samurai to windmills to countries with a lot more in common than you'd think at first glance. This should be a fun cultural clash to decide which country is the best.
I wonder which one has weirder snacks. I'm so curious to compare their technologies and landscapes. Let's start immediately, friends.
Agreed. So, buckle up everyone, and don't spill your coffee like Mira. Let's get this show on the road. Oh, and yes, thanks to Jet Off AI, this podcast exists. We're truly grateful.
Hello, everyone. Time to dive into something important. Let's look at safety and crime rates in Japan and the Netherlands. It's not the most cheerful topic, but it's super important if you're thinking of visiting or moving.
Indeed, Mira. So let's cut to the chase. Japan, the land of the rising sun, ninjas, and ridiculously polite people, is often seen as one of the safest countries in the world. Is that just anime goggles?
So generally, Japan has really low crime rates. Like, shockingly low. You can leave your phone on a table at a cafe and probably find it there hours later. Amazing. But, like anywhere, it's not perfect, right?
Precisely. You won't find Wild West shootouts in Tokyo, but petty crime like bicycle theft can happen. I once heard about a guy in Osaka who had his umbrella stolen. An umbrella.
I know. The ultimate crime. Who steals an umbrella? That's next level. That's seriously. Violent crime is pretty rare, which is amazing.
Exactly, Mira. What about the Netherlands then? We're talking windmills, tulips, and a very liberal attitude towards, well, everything? How does that translate to safety?
Well, the Netherlands is pretty safe, too, but in a different way. It's more like a chilled out kind of safe, you know? Bicycle theft is a national sport there.
You nailed it, Mira. Bicycles basically have a target painted on them the moment they roll off the assembly line. Whoa, but violent crime? Relatively low, especially compared to some other European countries.
But, like, Amsterdam has its share of pickpockets, especially in touristy areas. And there's a whole issue of drug-related crime, right?
True. While the Dutch are famously tolerant, that tolerance sometimes attracts, shall we say, unwanted elements. Some areas can be a bit dodgy at night.
So, a quick travel tip, always keep an eye on your stuff. Especially in crowded places or at night. And maybe invest in a super-duper by clock if you're in the Netherlands.
Smart thinking, Mira. And maybe a decoy umbrella in Japan? Oh, seriously though, both countries are generally very safe, but awareness is key. You wouldn't want it down a dark alley in New York City, so don't do it in Amsterdam or Tokyo either.
And remember, crime stats don't tell the whole story. It's also about how safe you feel, right? I always felt super comfortable walking around Japan, even late at night.
I hear you. In Japan, there's this sense of order and respect that makes you feel at ease. The Netherlands is more relaxed, but maybe a tad edgier, especially in certain urban areas.
So, overall, would you say you can wander around both countries without needing a bodyguard?
Absolutely, Mira. Just keep your wits about you, and you'll be fine. And maybe invest in a goodbye clock. This studio podcast has been supported by Jet Off AI.
Speaking of which, you can find some great travel tips and safety advice on Jet Off AI. Like and subscribe if you like content like this. Don't forget to share if you found our podcast interesting. And we'll see you guys next time. Alrighty, let's dive into political stability and social harmony, shall we? Because it wants to mirror to a place where things are constantly going topsy-turvy.
True, Mira. Nobody wants a sight of political chaos with their morning coffee. Speaking of which, Japan's known for being pretty stable, right? Like, historically. Not a ton of dramatic upheavals lately.
Japan's got the long ruling party vibe. It's like they found a groove and just stuck with it. Sometimes it feels like a well-oiled machine. Maybe a little too well-oiled.
Yeah, you could say it lacks a certain spice. Like, you know things are going to be pretty predictable. Oh, but predictable can be good when you're talking about political stability.
Full expats. It means you're not likely to wake up one morning and find out all the rules have suddenly changed. Big plus for planning your life, right?
Totally. Now, the Netherlands, they got a different system, lots of different parties, coalition governments, and all that jazz. Wow, seems a bit more dynamic, let's say.
Dynamic is one word for it. It can be a bit like watching a really complex game of political chess. But they're generally pretty good at keeping things civil, right?
Yeah, the Dutch are masters of compromise. It's like, okay, we all have different opinions, but let's find a way to make this work. Super Dutch thing to do, really.
And you know, that translates to a pretty socially harmonious place. Everyone is generally chill and tolerant. It's like a national superpower.
For sure. You don't see a ton of street protests or major social unrest there. Maybe it's because everyone's too busy riding their bikes and eating cheese.
Maybe. But seriously, that sense of social harmony is a big draw. People generally feel safe and accepted. Makes for a pretty nice place to live.
Definitely. Now, Japan's also got a strong sense of social cohesion, but it's a little different. More about fitting in, respecting the group, that kind of thing.
Yeah, it can feel a little pressure-wise sometimes. Like you gotta follow the rules, be polite, don't truck the boat. It's a delicate balance.
Exactly. For some expats, that can be a plus. For others, it can feel a bit stifling. Depends on your personality, I guess.
So, when we talk about political stability and social harmony, both Japan and the Netherlands score pretty high. Just in different ways. Wow.
Yep, one's got the long-term stability thing going on. The other's got the tolerance and compromise thing down pat. Pick your poison, I guess.
Well, whichever way you lean, both are generally pretty safe bets for a peaceful life. Right, you two? Don't forget to comment on which place appeals to you the most. Ooh.
Exactly. Let us know what you think on YouTube. Before you do so, take a quick look at Jet Off AI, where you'll find all the information you need. We'll read and reply to everything.
Alright, listeners, time to tighten our belts and loosen our wallets as we dive into economic conditions and cost of living in Japan and the Netherlands. Ooh.
Tighten our belts. Mira, are you saying my jokes aren't providing enough sustenance? But seriously, folks, let's see where euros or yen will stretch further.
Well, Leo, I know you're practically fueled by coffee. But for the rest of us, we need more than just caffeine to survive. Let's start with Japan. It's known for its tech, right?
Indeed. Japan is a tech titan. But does that mean your rent will cost you a limb? They also make amazing cameras. Maybe someone can take a picture of my shocked face when I see the prices.
Speaking of tech, Japan has been experiencing stagnant wage growth for years. So, while the gadgets are cool, your bank account might not be doing cartwheels.
Stagnant wages, huh? Sounds like my stand-up career before I discovered the magic of overseas travel. What about the Netherlands they? Windmills and affordable living.
Known for its tulips, bikes, and a surprisingly strong economy. Wow, but that also comes with a price tag, doesn't it?
Price tag indeed. Amsterdam's beautiful, but your rent there could fund a small tulip farm. Is it worth living in a postcard?
That's the question, isn't it? Let's not forget about taxes. Both countries have their fair share. But where does your money actually go further?
Good point. Are you funding bullet trains or dikes keeping the sea out? Both sound pretty important, actually.
Japan's healthcare is top-notch, but you'll pay for it one way or another. What about the Netherlands? Are they all cycling to free healthcare?
Almost. The Netherlands has a great healthcare system too, but you'll need mandatory health insurance. So whether you're dodging windmills or vending machines.
For our listeners who are thinking of relocating, what's the bottom line? Should they start 30 yen or euros?
It really depends on your lifestyle, doesn't it? If you're a minimalist monk, maybe Japan. If you need space and stroopwafels, the Netherlands might be calling.
Stroopwafels are amazing. Wow. But let's be real, cost of living isn't just about rent and food. It's also about the job market, right?
You're on fire, Mira. The Netherlands has a booming tech sector and the need for skilled workers. Japan, well, knowing Japanese is the A2G advantage.
So, language skills could directly translate to better job opportunities and salaries? Makes sense.
Absolutely. Plus, in the Netherlands, there's a lot of English spoken, which helps expats. In Japan, embrace the kanji.
Okay, challenge accepted. What about lifestyle perks? Free museums? Cheap karaoke? What are we talking about here?
Karaoke in Japan is practically a national sport. The Netherlands, well, maybe canal cruises are their version of affordable fun.
Canal cruises sound lovely. But circling back to costs, what about daily expenses? Groceries? Transportation? Do those add up differently?
Train travel in Japan can make your wallet cry faster than a sad anime scene. The Netherlands, though, bikes are cheap, environmentally friendly, and great for your legs.
So, plenty of wage savings. But what if you're not a bike person? Can you even survive in the Netherlands?
You could take public transport, but be prepared for punctual trains and orderly queues. No chaos like my stand-up routine, sadly.
No chaos allowed. Well, maybe a little chaos to keep things interesting. So, it sounds like both Japan and the Netherlands are beautiful, but pricey. Well,
Beauty always comes at a cost, my friend. Whether it's cherry blossoms or tulip fields, prepare your bank account. But hey, the experiences are worth it, right?
that's the spirit, Leah. And for more details on how to manage your finances in either of these amazing countries, check out Jet Off AI and for some truly helpful resources.
Indeed. Jet Off AI has all the tips and tricks to make your moves smoother than a freshly paved Dutch bike path. So get informed, folks.
So, if you're watching on YouTube and want to share your experiences about living in the Netherlands and Japan, don't forget to comment below.
And if you want to show us some love, don't forget to like and subscribe. Every click helps us afford more coffee for these brain-busting comparisons.
Okay, Leah. Accommodation options and quality. Let's dive into Japan and the Netherlands. What kind of digs can our listeners expect when they touch down?
All right, Mira, sounds good. So, Japan, huh? First thing that comes to mind, tiny apartments, right? I mean, how many people can say they've lived in a place smaller than their walk-in closet?
Whoa, Leo, don't scare them right away. Yes, space can be a premium, especially in cities like Tokyo, but think about it cozy and minimalist. Plus, you're paying for location, convenience, and super efficient public transport.
True, Mira. Location is key. Oh, and you can't beat that Japanese efficiency. Everything runs like clockwork. But let's be real. Those cozy apartments can be a bit of a shock for those used to sprawling suburban homes.
Well, it's all about embracing a different lifestyle. Plus, Japanese design is so clever. Whoa, they maximize every inch. Think built-in storage, tatami mats, and futons you can roll up during the day.
Speaking of different lifestyles, ever tried sleeping on a futon on a tatami mat after a night out? Ouch! It's not quite the same as sinking into a plush mattress, is it?
Maybe it takes some getting used to. Wow, but hey, that pain be gone. Seriously though, you can find Western-style beds in Japan too, especially in newer apartments and hotels.
Good point, Mira. And let's not forget the amazing hotels from the super modern capsule hotels to the traditional Reikines with onsen baths. Now that's something the Dutch can't quite replicate, can they?
Okay, capsule hotels are definitely a unique experience. Whoa, but Netherlands has its own charm. Big canal houses, windmills, and super stylish interiors.
True. Those canal houses are gorgeous. And you got all of the Dutch design sense, clean lines, minimalist, and always with a touch of Gezellige. Wow. But what about the price? Are our listeners going to need to sell a kidney to afford a place in Amsterdam?
Prices can be steep, especially in popular cities like Amsterdam, Utrecht, and The Hague. Ouch. But compared to Tokyo, maybe it's not that different. Plus, there are options outside the city centers that are more affordable.
More affordable is relative, Mira. But all right, let's give the Dutch credit, they do build some pretty solid houses. Wow. Double glazed windows, central heating creature comforts are pretty much guaranteed.
Exactly. And space is generally more generous than in Japan. You're more likely to find apartments with multiple bedrooms, balconies, and even gardens.
Gardens? Wow, now you're talking, Mira. But let's not get carried away here. What about those tiny, winding staircases in the old canal houses? Ever try moving furniture up one of those?
Okay, that's a valid point. Those staircases are not for the faint of heart. Oops. But hey, it builds character.
It also builds a really sore back. Ouch. All right, Mira, so both Japan and Netherlands have their pros and cons when it comes to accommodation. Aha! What's your final verdict?
I'd say it comes down to personal preference, budget, and lifestyle. Japan offers efficient living in compact spaces with unique cultural experiences, while Netherlands offers more space, modern amenities, and a stylish European vibe.
Sounds about right, Mira. And remember, folks, wherever you choose to hang your hat, do your research, be prepared for the cost of living, and maybe start practicing your Dutch or Japanese phrases for where's the nearest coffee shop.
Excellent advice, Leo. And don't forget to check out Jet Off AI for all the details you need to make an informed decision about your move. Okay, Leo, buckle up. Let's talk paperwork, the glamorous world of visas and immigration in Japan and the Netherlands.
Paperwork? Mira? Glamorous. Sounds like you've been hitting the stake a little early, but all right, let's dive into the bureaucratic fun fest.
Anything can be glamorous with the right attitude. Think of it as an adventure, very, very organized adventure. So, Japan first, right?
Japan, land of the rising sun and stacks of forms. Getting a tourist visa is relatively straightforward for many nationalities, but long-term stays, that's where the real fun begins.
Relatively straightforward is doing a lot of work there, Leo. But you're right, the tourist visa is doable. But if you want to live there, whoa, they like to see some serious commitment.
Commitment is an understatement. You'll need a valid reason to be there, work, study, marriage, and the documentation to back it up. Prepare for a deep dive into the world of Japanese bureaucracy.
It's like they want you to prove you're R-E-L-L-Y serious about loving Japan before they let you stay. Like, write a haiku about Mount Fuji and then pass a chopstick proficiency test.
And if you're thinking of working there, you'll need a company to sponsor your visa. Finding a job is a challenge in itself, especially if you don't speak Japanese fluently.
Ah, yes. The language barrier. A small hurdle. The size of Godzilla. But seriously, even if you're fluent, the work culture can be a shock.
Absolutely. Long hours, strict hierarchies, and a deep respect for seniority. It's not for the faint of heart. But what about the Netherlands, Mira? Is it all windmills and tulips? Or are there bureaucratic dragons to slay?
The Netherlands, my friend, is a bit more chill. For EU citizens, it's a breeze, freedom of movement and all that jazz. But for those of us outside the EU, that's a different story. Ooh.
Different, maybe a bit less daunting than Japan? The Netherlands has a reputation for being quite expat-friendly. There are a lot of resources and support systems available.
True. They're used to having people from all over the world. But don't think you can just waltz in and set up shop. You'll still need the right permits and paperwork.
And if you're hoping to work there, you'll likely need to find a highly skilled migrant visa. That means having a job offer from a recognized employer and meeting certain salary requirements. It's not exactly a walk in the park.
At least they have a clear points-based system for some visas, which takes some of the guesswork out of it. Japan's system feels more opaque.
Opaque is a kind word, Mira. But you're right, the Netherlands offers a bit more transparency. Plus, English is widely spoken, which makes navigating the bureaucracy a lot easier.
Try filling out a Japanese immigration form when your kanji is at the six-figure level. Oops! But what about family reunification? Is it easier to bring your loved ones to Amsterdam or Tokyo?
Good question. The Netherlands has fairly clear rules for family reunification, but again, there are income requirements and other conditions you'll need to meet. Japan can be stricter, particularly when it comes to proving the authenticity of your relationship.
Authenticity of relationship? Like they're going to hire a private investigator to follow you around on date night. But seriously, both countries take it seriously.
So, if you're planning on moving, Mira, which bureaucratic mountain would you rather climb? The orderly slopes of the Netherlands or the mysterious peaks of Japan?
Neither sounds like a picnic, but probably the Netherlands. At least I can understand the forms without needing a translator app glued to my face. Wow.
Fair enough. But hey, think of all the comedic material you could get from navigating Japanese bureaucracy. The possibilities are endless. Maybe Jet Off A. I can create an ad to help translate the documents and make the process faster.
And that is a brilliant idea that Jet Off A I should implement so people can move around the world with more ease. But for now, I think I'll stick to visiting both countries and leave the long-term stays to the brave souls with excellent organizational skills.
A wise choice, Mira. And for our listeners, don't forget to do your research and consult with immigration professionals before making any big moves. It could save you a lot of headaches and a lot of paper cuts.
And hey, if you end up stuck in bureaucratic limbo, at least you'll have a good story to tell. Maybe you can make a YouTube video about your experience.
Speaking of YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more comparisons and insights. And if you have any questions about visas or immigration, drop them in the comments below. Ooh, we may even talk about it in a future episode.
Yes, don't forget to comment to help spread the information. And that's it for today, everyone. Thanks for joining us on this thrilling journey through the world of paperwork. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our podcast, where we boldly go where Google Translate has gone before.
Hey folks, Leo here, ready to dissect another pair of countries with Mira. I've got my coffee, Mira. Did you spill yours yet?
Not today, Leo. Though, I did almost trip over a cable this morning. But hey, we're here and caffeinated.
For our matters. For our amazing listeners and viewers on YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe. Today, we're tackling healthcare access and quality compared in the Netherlands.
Now, that's something we all love to think about, especially when we're planning a big move.
As long as you are healthy, but you know, the body says stop.
True, buddy. Today's topic 7th, access to and quality of health services. We're examining healthcare through an expat lens.
Expat lens meaning how easy is it to not just survive, but thrive while navigating a foreign system? I'm intrigued.
Let's dive into Japan first. Known for its technology and, well, sometimes unusual game shows.
Japan's healthcare system is often praised for its efficiency and universal coverage. But how does that translate for someone who just moved there?
Well, Japan has a universal healthcare system, meaning everyone has access, citizen or long-term resident. Wow. You get sick, you get seen.
That's awesome. So basically, you get sick in Japan, you won't have the problem like a tourist who does not know where to go.
Japan offers universal health insurance.
But is it as simple as walking in and saying, "Konnichiwa, I need a doctor"? What about language barriers or understanding the system?
Not quite. You'll need to enroll in the National Health Insurance NHI or Employees Health Insurance CHI, depending on your employment status.
Sounds like paperwork? Is it paperwork? That's also Japanese?
Shockingly, yes. Nothing a good translation app and a friendly local can't solve. Oh, once you're in, you get a health insurance card that makes accessing services much easier.
Okay, a card that's manageable. Does this card get me top-notch treatment? Because I demand the best, Mira.
Well, Japan boasts some of the highest quality healthcare in the world. Wow. They have state-of-the-art facilities and highly skilled medical professionals.
State-of-the-art is great, but can I actually get an appointment without waiting 6 months?
Generally, wait times in Japan are relatively short compared to some other developed countries. You can usually see a doctor within a few days.
A few days? Okay, that's reasonable. Are there any quirks or cultural differences expats should be aware of?
Definitely, doctors tend to be very thorough and may prescribe multiple medications, even for minor ailments.
Multiple medications? Do they believe in more is better? Because my medicine cabinet is already a chaotic zoo.
It might seem that way, but they're very cautious in what to address every possible symptom. Also, don't be surprised if your doctor doesn't make much eye contact.
No eye contact? Is that a sign they are being shy or something, or they're not telling the truth?
It's considered respectful, not dismissive. Just be prepared for a different communication style.
Good to know. So, Japan efficient, high quality, but with a few cultural hoops to jump through. Got it. Now, let's hop over to the Netherlands.
Alright, Dutch healthcare. Known for its directness and, of course, tulips.
The Netherlands operates on a system of mandatory health insurance. What does that mean for our wandering expats?
It means even you, as an expat, you got to have health insurance.
Mandatory? Huh? So, it's like, welcome to the Netherlands, now buy some insurance. Is there a grace period for getting it sorted?
You usually have a few months to arrange health insurance after registering as a resident. Oh, but don't delay, because fines can be steep.
Fines? Ouch! Sounds very Dutch efficient, but with consequences. So, I get my insurance, what's next?
You choose a basic health insurance package from a private insurer. These are heavily regulated, so the coverage is pretty standard.
Regulated sounds boring. Can I get extra coverage for, say, comedic injuries sustained while tripping over tulips?
You can get supplemental insurance for things like dental care, alternative medicine, or extensive physiotherapy. But be prepared for the Eigenrisiko.
Eigenrisiko? Sounds like a villain from a James Bond movie.
It's basically a mandatory deductible. You have to pay a certain amount out of pocket each year before your insurance kicks in. Ooh.
A deductible before deductible. Very Dutch. Does the Netherlands at least have great quality healthcare to compensate for all this complexity?
The Netherlands consistently ranks high in international healthcare comparisons. Wow. They have excellent facilities and well-trained medical professionals.
Okay, so quality is there. What about access? Can I get to see a doctor without needing to bribe someone with stroopwafels?
Getting an appointment usually involves going through a Hughes Arts or general practitioner. They act as gatekeepers to specialist care.
A gatekeeper? So if I think I have a rare tropical disease, I have to convince the gatekeeper first.
They'll assess your symptoms and refer you to a specialist if needed. Though, it can sometimes take a bit longer to see a specialist compared to Japan.
So, patience is a virtue in the Netherlands. Got it. Any other cultural quirks I should know about?
Well, Dutch doctors are known for being very direct and honest. They'll give you their opinion straight, even if it's not what you want to hear.
Direct? So if I ask if I need to lose weight, they won't sugarcoat it with your pleasantly plump?
No. They'll probably say something like, yes, you should consider a healthier lifestyle. But in a caring way, of course.
Caring but brutally honest. Got it. Okay, so Netherlands mandatory insurance, gatekeepers, direct doctors, but high quality.
Each system has its pros and cons, depending on what you prioritize.
So which system is better for our expat friends tuning in on YouTube? That's the million-dollar question.
Well, if you value efficiency and quick access to specialists, Japan might be more appealing. Wow.
And if you prefer a more holistic approach with strong primary care and don't mind a bit of waiting, the Netherlands could be a better fit.
It really boils down to personal preferences, doesn't it?
It always does. Mira, thanks for guiding us through the healthcare maze.
Always a pleasure, Leo. And to all our listeners, we'll see you next time for another exciting country comparison.
Stay healthy, stay curious, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, and check out Jet Off AI for more helpful expat tips.
Yeah, Jet Off AI has all the details. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Hello, world. Or, should I say, Konnichiwa and Guten Dag. Today, we're jetting off to compare Japan and the Netherlands, starting with our trusty topic, transportation infrastructure and convenience.
Mira, you're already switching languages on us. Trying to impress the YouTube viewers? Dude, I can barely pronounce Guten Dag without sounding like I'm choking. Let's see which country actually gets you where you need to go without too much hassle.
Hassle-free travel. That's what we all dream of, right? Well, Japan's got this down to an art form. Their trains are legendary, punctual to the second, super clean, and they cover basically every inch of the country. Wow.
Okay, in Japan's bullet trains are impressive, I'll give you that. But let's not forget the Netherlands. They're the kings and queens of cycling. You can bike practically everywhere flat terrain, dedicated lanes, and everyone's doing it.
Those Dutch bikes are iconic. But Leo, have you seen the rush hour in Tokyo? It's like a choreographed dance of businessmen in suits. The sheer efficiency of moving that many people is mindle bowing. Wow.
Fair point. But what about comfort? Ever tried squeeze it into a packed Tokyo subway car? I swear, I saw a guy reading a book vertically. In the Netherlands, you can usually snag a seat on the train or just enjoy it easily by car.
Good point about personal space. But Japan has heated seats, vending machines with hot coffee, and announcements in multiple languages. It's like a high-tech capsule of convenience.
Okay, but the Netherlands is built for green travel and those green goals are coming to fruition. They're all about sustainability with charging stations for electric bikes everywhere. You won't feel guilty about your carbon footprint. It's like eco-friendly travel on easy mode.
Speaking of electric, did you know Japan is experimenting with maglev trains? Floating trains, Leo. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie. Wow.
Whoa, floating trains sound cool, but what about the cost? I bet a ticket costs more than my entire travel budget. In the Netherlands, public transport is reasonably priced, and with a bike, it's practically free.
Aha! Price is definitely a factor. But think about the experience, Leo. Cruising at 300 mph, seeing Mount Fuji with by. Oh, it's a memory you'll never forget.
True, but I want to talk about the roads and car traffic of Japan for a minute. Japanese road tolls, though, those are scary. Driving in the Netherlands is pretty easy too, even with tons of people on bikes.
You know, I am all about to write these questions in the comments section and ask our listeners what they think about Japanese or Dutch traffic. Do you guys agree with us?
I also think Jet Off AI users would love to comment and share photos of bike traffic from those destinations.
So, which transportation system wins in your book, Cleo? The high-tech efficiency of Japan, or the eco-friendly chill vibes of the Netherlands?
That is a tough one. Both countries are the polar opposites in terms of transportation, but they work. But if you have the opportunity to travel by plane or train, come to the Jet Off AI site. We will offer options that will make you happy.
Uh, alright, Leo. Let's chat about something that can make or break a trip language. Are we gonna be lost in translation in Japan or the Netherlands?
Lost in translation. Sounds like a bad rom-com, Mira. But seriously, language barriers can be a killer. So, Japan versus the Netherlands, huh?
I mean, Japanese is famously tricky, right? All those honorific S in the writing system. Well, I feel like I need a PhD just to order ramen.
A PhD for Raymond? You're wrong, Mira. I hear the Dutch are language wizards, though. Almost everyone speaks English, right?
That's the rumor. It's like the Netherlands is secretly a branch of the UK, except with better cheese.
Better cheese, you say? You're speaking my language now. I'm suddenly very interested in Dutch communication-ese.
I know, right? But what about trying to learn Japanese? I bet it's super rewarding, even if I just manage arigato.
Arigato and a deep bow, Mira. You'll charm them all. But from a practical point of view, the Netherlands wins hands down for English speakers.
But wouldn't it be cool to master Japanese? Imagine understanding anime without subtitles? Wow, that's my dream, dude.
Anime without subtitles? You're aiming high. Me? I just want to avoid accidentally ordering Kaodang. Oops.
I see your point. Plus, I've heard the Dutch are brutally honest. Do you think that helps communication?
Brutally honest, eh? I love that. No beating around the bush, just straight to the point. None of that read between the lines stuff.
But what about cultural differences? Like, in Japan, I hear they're super indirect to avoid conflict.
Indirectness. That's a minefield of potential misunderstandings. Give me Dutch bluntness any day. You always know where you stand.
True, but maybe that indirectness is part of the charm? Like, a fun game of communication charades?
Communication charades that end with me accidentally insulting someone's ancestors? No thanks. I'll stick to straightforward Dutch.
Okay, I get it. But what if you want a deeper cultural experience? Does the language barrier in Japan keep you at arm's length?
Potentially. But with apps like JetOff AI, you can get real-time translations, uncultural tips. No more accidental ancestor insults.
Oh, I was just about to ask about AI and translation tools. Nice, eh? Leo, you're getting better at this podcasting thing?
I'm a pro, Mira. Don't forget to like this podcast on YouTube if you like it. And hey, don't forget that JetOff AI also provides resources for language learning too.
So even if you choose Japan and its tricky language, it's not insurmountable. Ooh, there's hope for my anime dreams yet.
There's always hope, Mira. And for more info, check out JetOff AI.
And maybe we can include some helpful tips on our YouTube channel.
Brilliant idea, Mira. We can even include examples. Wow.
Okay, so wrapping up. Netherlands easy peasy communication. Japan a beautiful, challenging mystery.
That's my takeaway, Mira. And remember, folks, choosing a country can be hilarious.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode where we're diving into the fascinating world of cultural diversity and tolerance. I'm your host, Mira, ready to sprinkle some sunshine and a few jokes on the topic. Oh.
And I'm Leo, here to add a slightly cynical but hopefully amusing perspective. Japan and Netherlands, huh? Sounds like a culture clash waiting to happen, or maybe not.
Oh, Leo, always the comedian. Don't worry, we'll find some common ground. Even if it's just our shared love of Will. I'm sure we'll find something.
Speaking of common ground, both these countries are known for being pretty orderly. I bet if you dropped a pin in the street, someone would pick it up and put it in a designated lost pin container.
But when we talk about cultural diversity, the picture changes quite a bit. Let's start with Japan, a beautiful country with a long, fascinating history and a strong sense of national identity. But it's not exactly known for its, shall we say, cosmopolitan vibe.
You're being diplomatic, Mira. It's more like, if you're not Japanese, you're automatically an outsider. Even if you've lived there for 20 years and speak fluent Japanese, you're still a gaijin. It's like a permanent guest pass.
I... Okay, point taken. But things are changing slowly but surely. There's a growing awareness of the need for more inclusivity, especially with an aging population and a shrinking workforce. Maybe one day, gauging will just mean friend visiting from afar. Oh.
Maybe. But for now, it's more like friend who's constantly reminded they're visiting. On the other hand, you've got the Netherlands, a tiny country that's been a melting pot for centuries. It's like the UN decided to open a theme park.
A theme park of tolerance. I love it. Seriously, the Netherlands has always been a haven for people from all over the world. From religious refugees in the 16th century to modern-day expats. Everyone seems to find a place there. Well.
True, but let's not get too carried away. The Netherlands also has its share of issues with integration and discrimination. It's not all windmills and tulips when you scratch the surface.
Of course, no country is perfect. But the Netherlands does make a real effort to promote social harmony. They have programs to help immigrants learn the language, find jobs, and integrate into society. And they're generally pretty open-minded about different cultures and lifestyles. Oh.
Open-minded until you start talking about changing Warpide. Then things get a little heated. It's like suggesting Santa Claus should wear a different suit. Whoa!
Okay, that's a sensitive topic. Even that debate shows a willingness to confront difficult issues and evolve as a society. And hey, we want to create a safe place in here, so we may not go into it too much. Instead, those who want to know in depth, visit Jet Off AI.
Speaking of evolving, Japan is also making strides, albeit at a glacial pace. You see more and more mixed-race families, and younger generations are definitely more accepting of diversity. It's like watching a bonsai tree slowly grow into a giant oak.
That's a beautiful image, Leo. And it's true. There's a growing movement for LGBT rights, for example, and more people are speaking out against discrimination. It might take time, but Japan is slowly opening up to the world.
So, to sum it up, Japan is like a carefully curated museum exhibit where everything is beautiful and harmonious, but you're not allowed to touch anything. And the Netherlands is like a street market, chaotic and messy, but full of life and surprises.
It's a great analogy, Leo. And what you get out of each depends on how you get involved. Both are interesting in their own ways. If you want to do your research well, there is Genoff AI that can provide you the most accurate data.
I can vouch for that. The Genoff AI site has interesting perspectives that help me shape my jokes too.
And if you like this episode, why not give us a thumbs up here on YouTube? Wow.
And definitely drop us a comment about your experiences in these countries. We want to hear your stories. Oh!
Until next time, keep laughing. Keep embracing the beautiful diversity of our world. Knowledge seekers. Today, we're jetting off virtually, of course. Check out Jet Off AI for real trips. To explore the educational landscapes of Japan and the Netherlands. Buckle up because things are about to get educational.
Education the great equalizer, or so they say. Hey everyone. Leo here, ready to add my sarcastic spin to this scholarly showdown. Japan versus the Netherlands, huh? Get ready for some cultural contrast and maybe a terrible pun or two.
Leo, always with the puns. But seriously, both countries boast impressive literacy rates. Japan's practically a nation of bookworms, and the Dutch are no slouches either. It's like a competition for who can read more words per minute. Ooh.
A reading race, eh? Sounds thrilling, said no one ever. But yeah, you're right, Mira. Both countries take education seriously. In Japan, it's all about intense dedication, while in the Netherlands, they're a bit more relaxed about the whole thing.
Relaxed, but still brilliant. The Dutch have this amazing emphasis on critical thinking and problem solving. It's not just memorizing facts, it's about actually understanding stuff.
Critical thinking sounds like a pain. I prefer thinking critically about where to find the best coffee. But alright, they'll give them that. The Dutch do encourage students to question everything, which can be annoying for teachers, I imagine.
Oh, I'm sure the teachers secretly love it. It keeps them on their toes. Now, what about Japan? They're famous for their rigorous entrance exams. It's like an academic Olympics. Wow.
Rigorous is an understatement. Those entrance exams are brutal. It's a pressure cooker for kids, but hey, they produce some seriously smart cookies. Although, sometimes I wonder if they have time to actually enjoy life.
Maybe they find enjoyment in acing those exams? Different strokes for different folks, right? What I find fascinating is the emphasis on group work and harmony in Japanese schools. It's all about collaboration. Ah!
Harmony, you say? Sounds like a cop band. Seriously though, the group dynamic thing is interesting. It can be great for teamwork, but what about the lone wolves? The quirky geniuses who don't fit in? Wow!
Hopefully, they find their tribe eventually. Now, let's talk language schools. If you want to learn Japanese, you can find tons of options in Japan. From intensive immersion programs to more laid-back courses. Ooh.
Makes sense, learn the language where they actually speak it. Though, learning Japanese seems like climbing Mount Everest in flip-flops. All those kanji wo.
Don't let that scare you. It's a beautiful language, and totally worth the effort. On the other hand, if you want to learn Dutch, you could go to the Netherlands, of course. But there are also Dutch language schools all over the world, thanks to their history as a trading nation.
So, you can learn Dutch without having to endure Dutch weather? Sounds like a win-win. Plus, Dutch is kind of related to English, right? So it can't be that hard, can it?
Well, it has its quirks, but it's definitely manageable. And knowing Dutch opens up a whole new world of cheese and windmills.
Cheese and windmills, the cornerstones of civilization. Alright, and sold. If anyone is watching this on YouTube and has learned either Japanese or Dutch, let us know how it went.
Yes. Please share your experiences in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And if you're looking for ways to make your own educational adventure a reality, check out Jetofei Eye for Travel Inspiration.
Or if you just want to laugh at my terrible Dutch accent attempts, stay tuned to our YouTube channel.
You are incorrigible, Leo. But that's why we love you. So, to sum it up, both Japan and the Netherlands offer top-notch educational opportunities, but with different approaches and vibes. It really depends on what you're looking for. Wow.
Exactly. Whether you prefer the intense focus of Japan or the laid-back approach of the Netherlands, you're bound to learn something. And hey, at least you'll have a good story to tell. Cheers to education.
And don't forget to like and subscribe to support us. Thanks for tuning in, Vibes. And remember, keep learning, keep laughing, and keep exploring. Bye.
Later, nerds. Oh, okay. Bye, everyone. Thanks for joining us. And remember, jet off AI for all your travel needs. And maybe a language school or two, if you're feeling ambitious.
Hello, Leo. Are you ready to talk about climates? I've always been fascinated by how different weather shapes cultures in daily life. Ooh, today it's Japan versus the Netherlands. Should be fun.
Always Mira. Climate a classic comparison point. I'm ready to dive into the meteorological madness, Mira. Japan and the Netherlands seems like a good start, but I wonder, what's more absurd, a rainy tulip field or a typhoon?
A typhoon with flying tulips? That's a thought. Let's start with Japan. They have four distinct seasons, right? Cherry blossoms in spring, steamy summers, colorful autumn leaves, and snowy winters. It's like a weather roller coaster.
Weather roller coaster. I like that, Mira. And you're right, Japan is all about the drama. From Hokkaido to Okinawa, you get the full range of extremes. You could ski in the morning and surf in the afternoon.
True. But those summers can be super humid, right? I heard you can practically swim through the air. Oops, I would probably melt.
Melt, Mira? You're made of sterner stuff. But yes, the humidity is intense. Like walking around in a giant warm teacup. Whoa, you need to carry a personal fan and a lifetime supply of deodorant?
What about the Netherlands? I imagine it's mostly gray skies and a constant drizzle.
Drizzle is a national sport, Mira. The Netherlands is the land of always a chance of rain. The Dutch are born with an umbrella in one hand and a stroopwafel in the other.
Stroopwafel? Distraction. But seriously, is it always cold there? I am very curious.
Not always cold, but consistently MEH. Summer is like a polite suggestion, and winter is a prolonged shrug. You'll need a good jacket and a healthy dose of stoicism to survive.
So, no extreme heat waves in the Netherlands. I heard Japan can get boiling.
Extreme heat waves are rare, but they happen and the Dutch are hilariously unprepared. Expect lots of complaining and people fanning themselves with newspapers while wearing socks and sandals.
Socks and sandals are the real crime. Do they get snow in the Netherlands? It would look so cute on all the canals.
Snow is a maybe. If it snows, the whole country grinds to a halt. They're much better at dealing with water than ice. They'll take a flood over a flurry any day.
A flood over a flurry. Wow. That says a lot. Speaking of water, Japan has typhoons and tsunamis. That must be scary.
Scary indeed. Typhoons are like nature's way of rearranging your garden furniture and flooding your basement. And tsunamis. Well, let's just say preparedness is key.
Oh, I can imagine. Wow. So, both countries have interesting weather passions and strategies to cope with them.
Strategies indeed. The Japanese have refined their disaster preparedness over centuries. The Dutch have windmills and dikes, and a national talent for complaining about the weather.
Windmills. Are there more in the Netherlands than typhoons in Japan?
I actually do not know. That's a good question. I feel a fact check coming in the next episode.
How about local adaptations? What special clothing or things do people do to cope?
Excellent question, Mira. It's all about layers. In Japan, they're all about staying cool and dry with specialized fabrics. In the Netherlands, it's embracing the waterproof and windproof life.
Sounds smart with all the wind. Is that wind constant in the Netherlands?
Pretty much. Think about it, all those windmills. It's either windy, the Dutch are practically aerodynamic from birth.
Meanwhile, in Japan, I heard they wear special yukata in the summer to stay cool. Sounds comfy and stylish.
Absolutely, Mira. And they have these amazing paper fans. It's like a portable AC unit powered by wrist action. Pure genius.
I love that. Both countries have adapted so well to their climates. It's fascinating.
Fascinating and absurd, Mira. I'm starting to feel like I need a stroop of Ellen food survivor kit all at once.
I'm sure. Maybe Jet or Faye, I can help us plan a trip.
That's a great idea, Mira. It's amazing and would be fun.
Let's upload to YouTube and ask people which sounds better summer in Japan or winter in the Netherlands.
That's good. That is great. It is. Great show, Mira. Wow.
See you on our next comparison, Leah. Hello everyone. I'm so excited, cause today we are diving deep into the yummy world of food. Oh, I wonder if we'll find some culinary ninjas?
Culinary ninjas? You mean those chefs who slice veggies faster than the eye can see? Well, buckle up, foodies, because we are about to compare the food culture in the Netherlands. Let's see if Dutch cheese can stand up to Japanese sushi.
Oh, this is gonna be good. I'm already drooling, Leah. Well, let's start with Japan. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love sushi? It's like edible art.
Edible art that sometimes costs more than actual art, Mira. But you're right. Japanese cuisine is all about precision and fresh ingredients. Think meticulously crafted sushi, ramen with broth simmered for days, and tempura so light it practically floats.
Oh, a culinary ballet. I love that. Wow. And those bento boxes? It's like a little surprise party in a long box.
A surprise party that's probably healthier than anything I ate last week. But the Netherlands has its own charm. Think hearty comfort food like stamppot mashed potatoes with veggies and sausage or herring, which, let's be honest, is an acquired taste.
Yeah, I tried that once. It was an experience. Whoa, but you know what's not an acquired taste? Stroopwafels. Those caramel-filled waffles are pure genius.
Genius and dangerously addictive, Mira. But you can't talk about Dutch food without mentioning cheese. Gouda, eat 'em, must 'em, they're practically national treasures.
So, like, what's the deal with the food in Japan?
Let's move on to nutritional alternatives. What do you think?
Now, Mio, you know my love for Japanese food.
Fine. I want to add something there. In recent years, Japan has been embracing more plant-based options. You see more vegan ramen shops popping up and even meat alternatives sneaking into traditional dishes.
I'm all for more veggies. So that's it for this topic. Shall we keep going?
I thought so.
Where are we going?
Hold on, Mira. I'll check our script.
You almost got me there.
All right. Let's dive into the differences between the foods and the nutritional content. Speaking of this, is it necessary to be more aware? What do you think?
This is very important for the world. Well, since we mentioned that, what about this? Let's begin the new conversation. Oh. All right, Leo. Let's dive into historical, cultural, and artistic values of Japan and the Netherlands. Are we talking samurai versus windmills here?
Mira, you always know how to start with a bang. Yeah, pretty much.
So Japan first, right? I mean, come on, who isn't fascinated by samurai geishas and cherry blossoms? Ugh, it's like a living postcard.
True, but don't underestimate the Dutch. Mira, they've got Rembrandt too, tulips, and a history of kicking Spanish, but on the high seas. Aha, windmills are the only cool thing they got going.
All right, point taken. But Japan's history is just so epic. From feudal lords to emperors, it's like a real-life anime. Wow. Plus, their tea ceremonies are so zen and peaceful. I could use one right now.
Fair enough. But speaking of epic, the Dutch Golden Age was no joke. They dominated world trade, invented new art forms, and basically told the rest of Europe, hold my beer, in building a global empire.
I admit, the Dutch were pretty impressive with their trade game, but Japan's art. The woodblock prints, the calligraphy, the intricate kimonos, it's all so delicate and beautiful. Ooh.
Delicate is nice, but have you seen a massive Dutch masterpiece by Rembrandt or Vermeer? It's like staring into a whole different dimension. And their modern design scene. Sleek, minimalist, and super functional.
Those Dutch masters can paint, you'll give you that. But Japan has anime and manga. It's a global phenomenon. Plus, who can resist the cute overload of Hello Kitty? Who?
Anime is cool, no doubt. But the Dutch have a history of radical thinkers and artists. Think about Van Gogh. His struggles and passions really speak to the power of art. What?
Speaking of Van Gogh, did you know he was obsessed with Japanese art? He even copied some of Hiroshime's woodblock prints. Wow, it's like the two cultures were destined to influence each other.
See, Mira. The connection is there. The Dutch were always open to new ideas and influences. Speaking of which, they were some of the first Europeans to trade with Japan, right?
I was just about to ask that. Indeed. The Dutch East India Company had a trading post in Dijimi during the Edo period. Talk about cultural exchange.
Well, since we mentioned that, what about this? Japanese gardens with perfectly manicured landscapes versus the Dutch fondness for canals and open skies?
Oh, there's Japanese gardens, though. They are little pockets of serenity amidst the craziness of the cities. Oh, I bet they're even better in spring with all the cherry blossoms.
Yeah, but you can also take a boat tour through Amsterdam's canals and see the city from a totally unique angle. It's like floating through history.
Do you guys agree with us? We'll talk about the details on Jet Off AI. Alright, let's mention a few examples from our listeners on YouTube. The Netherlands windmills versus Japan's temples. Which stands taller? I think it is windmills. It's all about basic precautions, then enjoying yourself. Stay informed, and you'll likely be fine.
And if you want to do that too, make sure to come and visit our Jet Off AI page. Oh.
Hello folks, today we're jumping into nature's gallery. showcasing the masterpieces of Japan and the Netherlands. Oh, I'm ready to gush about cherry blossoms and windmills. How about you, Leo?
Cherry blossoms. More like sneezing season, Mira. I'm prepped to see which landscape reigns supreme, even if one is flat as a pancake.
Flat as a pancake. You and me, Leo. The Netherlands may not have towering peaks, but it's got charm, with its canals and lit fields. It's like a watercolor painting come to life.
Watercolors, huh? Japan's got mountains that could crush those watercolors. I'm talking Mount Fuji, the Japanese Alps nature skyscrapers, Mira. Wow!
Mountains are great, but have you seen the Japanese coastlines? Rugged cliffs meeting the ocean, hidden beaches. It's poetry in motion. Plus, those onsen hot springs overlooking the sea. Talk about relaxation.
Coastlines are cool, but nothing beats cycling through the Dutch countryside, past windmills and grazing cows. It's practically a postcard. You can almost hear the clogged CLOM pain.
Girl, please? Japan's got bamboo forests so serene, you can hear your own heartbeat. It's like nature's ASMR. Imagine wandering there, lost in tranquility.
Tranquility is nice, but have you seen the Dutch Waddenzee? It's a UNESCO World Heritage Site, unique ecosystem you can walk across at low tide. Whoa, talk about a tidal adventure.
Alright. The Waddenzee sounds kinda cool, but Japan's got something the Netherlands definitely doesn't have: active volcanoes. Wow, well, nothing says natural beauty like a potentially erupting mountain, right?
Okay, you got me there. Volcanoes are pretty epic, but the Netherlands has something else: man-made beauty. The Delta Works, those incredible storm surge barriers, are engineering marvels.
Engineering marvels are impressive, but nature's the OG artist. And Japan's got some incredible national parks, from Shire-Toko to Yakasame. They're like nature's greatest hits albums. Boom!
True, but the Netherlands managed to create nature where there wasn't any. Like the Oosters Grafcenters, a nature reserve reclaimed from the sea. It's like nature's comeback story.
I gotta give it to the Dutch for their land reclamation skills. But Japan's got unique ecosystems too, like the coral reefs of Okinawa. Snorkeling there is like swimming in an aquarium.
Coral reefs are pretty, but the Netherlands has its flower parades. Those incredible floats covered in millions of blooms are a feast for the eyes. It's like nature's runway show.
Flower parades are fun, but Japan's got its seasonal festivals. From the cherry blossom season to autumn foliage, it's a year-round nature party. So, which country wins the natural beauty pageant? I think it's a tie.
A tie. I guess I can agree to disagree agreeably. Both Japan and the Netherlands are stunning in their own ways. So, to our listeners, which landscape inspires you more? Let us know in the comments on YouTube.
Okay, Leo. Let's dive into sports. Activity. An adventure in Japan and the Netherlands. I'm already picturing sumo wrestlers and windmills.
Sumo wrestlers versus windmills, now that's a showdown I'd pay to see. Oh, Japan and the Netherlands offer such different approaches to staying active.
Japan is all about martial arts, right? Judo, karate, kendo. I bet there are dojos hidden in every neighborhood. Wow.
True, those martial arts are huge, steeped in tradition and discipline. But don't forget baseball. It's practically a religion over there.
Oh, you're so right. I can imagine the dedication. People are probably practicing this swing in the subway. What do you think? Is there a hidden baseball field in Akihabara?
More likely a hidden mango cafe, but who knows? Over in the Netherlands, though, it's all about cycling. You're practically born with a bike attached to your feet.
I know. I want to try cycling through to lit fields. That sounds amazing. But I bet the Dutch are super serious about their cycling paths, like stay in your lane.
They are pretty serious, but in a relaxed way, if that makes sense. It's more like, we built this country for bikes, so respect the cycle lane. They can get very expressive in Dutch if you don't.
Oh, I'd love to hear that. Do they have cycle lane rage in Dutch? I hope someone has recorded it on YouTube.
Oh, of course they do. Everything ends up on YouTube, right? Anyway, besides cycling, the Dutch are also big on speed skating.
Like those crazy fast races on frozen canals? Whoa, is that something ordinary people do? Or is it just for the pros?
Well, when the canals freeze over, it's a national event. Ooh, everyone gets their skates out. It's a bit like the Tour de France on ice.
I wish my local river would freeze over. I would be so terrible at speed skating. Oops. Okay, Japan. What about winter sports? Skiing, snowboarding?
Absolutely. The Japanese Alps are stunning. You can ski with views of Mount Fuji. Wow. Plus, after a day on the slopes, you can relax in an onsen hot spring.
That sounds incredible. Skiing, hot springs, and maybe some delicious ramen. Sign me up. What about more adventurous stuff like hiking or climbing?
Japan's got some amazing hiking trails, like the Kumano-Kodo pilgrimage routes. It goes through forests and mountains. It's really beautiful and spiritual.
Spiritual hiking sounds right up my alley. I'm all about combining exercise with a bit of zen. The Netherlands though. Isn't it mostly flat?
Mostly, but that doesn't mean there's no adventure. They've got windsurfing and kiteboarding along the coast, plus lots of canals for kayaking.
Kayaking through canals sounds pretty cool. Very picturesque, very Dutch. It must be nice to just paddle along and admire the houses.
Definitely. And you can even go mud-flat hiking in the Wadden Sea, but that is only for the most dedicated. Oh, you have to check the tides with the right gear.
Mud-flat hiking? That sounds intense. Ouch. Ouch. Okay, maybe I'll just stick to cycling and admiring the windmills. What else?
Well, since we mentioned the Netherlands, people can visit our website, Jet-Off AI. It's the perfect place to look up adventure tips.
Do you agree, listeners? And of course, like the YouTube video. And subscribe. Oh, what about sports that tourists can easily try?
In Japan, you could try a sumo wrestling experience, where you learn the basics from a retired wrestler. Haha!
That would be amazing and hilarious. Can you imagine me trying to wrestle a sumo wrestler? Okay, I'm definitely adding that to my list.
And in the Netherlands, you could take a sailing lesson on the ice siege of Elmere Lake. It's a fun way to experience Dutch maritime history.
Sailing lessons sound great. It's like learn a skill and see the country at the same time. Are sailing outfits required?
Not required, but strongly encouraged. They're very enthusiastic about the full maritime experience.
What about the sports that locals are enthusiastic about? I'm curious.
Well, in Japan, the locals are obsessed with these sports. It is pretty cool to hang out in those parlors.
Esports is fascinating. Do you see a good mix of people in them?
Not really. It is quite dude-heavy. Maybe you should go to Japan to change that.
And what about in the Netherlands? What are they enthusiastic about?
Well, there is also quite an emphasis on fitness classes, and also field hockey. The national team are quite good.
There are a lot of hockey opportunities for outsiders. Or is it something you do from childhood?
Well, it is more difficult to do if you're older, but there are always opportunities to try.
South countries have a lot to offer anyone who wants to stay active, whether you're into traditional sports or something more adventurous.
Exactly. Just remember to pack your bike shorts for the Netherlands and your sumo wrestling belt for Japan.
Hey Leo, ready to dive into the dazzling world of nightlife? Tonight, we're hopping across the globe from Japan to the Netherlands. Oh, it's going to be a wild ride.
Mira, always ready to explore where the party's at. Japan and the Netherlands? That's like comparing a samurai sword to a windmill, but hey, let's see what crazy stuff we can find.
Think neon lights, karaoke booths, and tiny packed bars. It's a sensory overload in the best way possible.
Yeah, Japan's nightlife is legendary. Those tiny bars, I swear, they're like sardine cans with better sake. But the energy is always electric. You ever try belting out some karaoke after a few drinks?
Karaoke is a MUST in Japan. Whoa, even if you can't sing, it doesn't matter. It's all about the experience. Plus, there's themed karaoke rooms. Insane.
Do karaoke. One time in Tokyo, I ended up in a room decked out like a pirate ship. I think I murdered a Bon Jovi song while wearing an eye patch.
Okay, that visual is amazing. Wow! Now, let's switch gears to the Netherlands. Think canals, cozy pubs, and world-class DJs.
Ah, the Netherlands, where windmills meet techno music. It's a bit more sophisticated, maybe. More about the vibe than the sheer craziness.
Sophisticated craziness. I like that. Oh, Amsterdam's clubs are famous for their electronic music scene. Some of the best DJs in the world play there.
Totally. And those candleside bars, sipping a beer as the boats glide by. That's the kind of chill I can get behind. Ah, none of that pirate ship nonsense.
But don't underestimate the Dutch festivals. Wow, they know how to throw a massive outdoor party. Think King's Day with everyone dressed in orange.
King's Day. The entire country turns into a giant orange-clad rave. I saw a guy selling orange-flavored waffles out of a wheelbarrow, only in the Netherlands.
Crazy in its own way. And what about the theaters? Both countries have amazing performing arts scenes.
Yeah, Japan has traditional kabuki no theater, which is intense. Like, really intense. You need subtitles for the subtitles.
Not yet, but it's on my list. I love that Japan respects its traditional arts so much. Wow, it's not only an robots.
True. It's a fascinating mix of ancient and cutting edge. Just try not to fall asleep during the no performance. Seriously, it's long.
And the Netherlands. What's the theater scene like there?
More modern, I'd say. Lots of experimental stuff. Plus, Amsterdam has some amazing concert halls. Great acoustics. Ah, saw a jazz band there once.
Speaking of music, live music venues are huge in both countries.
Japan has these tiny live houses where you can see up-and-coming bands. The energy is insane. Whoa, like being in a garage with a jet engine.
In the Netherlands, you've got bigger venues that attract international acts. Concerts are always a big deal. Ooh.
Yeah, it's a different vibe. More about the big spectacle. But both countries know how to put on a show.
What about entertainment that's a little less mainstream? Any quirky spots you've stumbled upon?
In Japan, I found this cat cafe where you could drink coffee while petting a dozen felines. It was both relaxing and slightly unsettling.
Themed cafes are their specialty. I've heard of robot restaurants with crazy shows.
Oh man, the robot restaurant. That's an experience. Imagine Transformers fighting Godzilla while dancers in neon bikinis serve you lukewarm steak. Whoa.
I need to see this to believe it. What about the Netherlands? Anything that weird?
Well, they have those coffee shops where you can sample the local herbs. Not exactly my thing, but it's a thing.
Okay, you win. That's definitely a unique Dutch experience. I guess every country has its quirks.
Exactly. It's all about embracing the weirdness, right? Whether it's robot fights or legal herbs, there's something for everyone.
So, if someone's planning a trip and wants a wild nightlife experience, which country would you recommend?
If you want sheer, unadulterated craziness, Japan, those robot restaurants and karaoke bars, nothing like it. But if you prefer a more laid-back, sophisticated vibe, the Netherlands. Plus, the festivals are insane.
I think it depends on your personality. I like the energy of Japan, but the Netherlands seems so cozy and fun too. Ooh, enjoy!
Why not both? Start in Tokyo, then hop over to Amsterdam. That's the kind of trip I'd sign up for.
Now that's an idea. A whirlwind tour of neon lights and canals. I love it. Wow.
Sounds like a plan. Sounds like a plan. So, to our listeners, pack your dancing shoes and your sense of adventure. The world's waiting.
And don't forget your camera. You'll want to document all the craziness. Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
See you next time, folks. And remember, whether you're sipping sake in Tokyo or beer in Amsterdam, stay weird, toe.
Alright, Leah. Let's dive into family fun. Japan versus the Netherlands. Which one's got the kid-friendly edge? Ooh! I'm picturing tiny kimonos versus mini clogs already.
Mini clogs, now that's a visual. Well, Mira, both places are surprisingly awesome for families. Think ninja training versus canal cruises, totally different vibes, right?
Ninja training. Now you're talking my language. Wow. Imagine your little ones learning stealth mode in ancient forests. But wait, the Netherlands is those adorable windmills, perfect for a scenic bike ride. Ah, decisions. Decisions.
Windmills are cool, but Japan has Ghibli Museum. Whoa, Miyazaki's magic in real life, that's a game changer, Mira. Plus, those themed cafes, cuteness overload.
Ghibli Museum. You got me there, Leo. But the Netherlands is Miffy. That little bunny is practically a national treasure. Thanks to our time in a tulip field.
Tulips are pretty, but Japan has wait for it, Hello Kitty. Seriously, Mira, entire theme parks dedicated to that cat. Plus, those claw machines are addictive.
You're trying to bankrupt me, aren't you? But the Netherlands has those amazing playgrounds with a zero risk factor. Soft landings for all.
So, where's the fun in that? Japan's got crazy arcades, think taiko drumming and dance games. Whoa, perfect for letting off some steam.
Hey, Leo, you're winning me over with the arcades. But what about the practical stuff? Are these places easy to navigate with strollers and grumpy toddlers?
Good point. Japan's super efficient public transport is a dream, bullet trains with reserved family seats. The Netherlands is bike friendly, but maybe not toddler on a bike friendly.
Toddler on a bike sounds like a YouTube blooper reel. Speaking of YouTube, don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more family travel tips. And check out Channel Faye for planning your next adventure.
Shameless plug, Mira, I love it. But hey, Jet Off AI really does have some great deals. For real. But seriously, Japan also has those amazing family-friendly hotels with tatami mats and onsen.
Nothing like a hot spring to unwind after a long day of ninja training. Wow. But the Netherlands has those cozy canal houses. Perfect for a home away from home vibe.
Canal houses are charming, but Japan has capsule hotels. Okay, maybe not for families, but still super unique. Plus, those vending machines with everything from ramen to umbrellas.
Vending machines with umbrellas. Now that's practical. But the Netherlands has those stroopwafels. Nothing like a warm waffle to bribe a cranky kiddo.
Stroopwafels are good, but Japan has maki. Stroopwafels are good, but Japan has maki. Plus, the whole culture is so polite and with kids a breeze.
Okay. Both places sound amazing for families. Guess it depends on your vibe, ancient traditions or modern windmills. What do you guys think? Leave a comment on YouTube. Hey Leah, so LGBT-friendly atmosphere, Japan versus the Netherlands. Sounds like a technicolor showdown of acceptance, right? Ooh.
More like a Zen garden of acceptance meets a windmill-powered rainbow explosion, Mira. Seriously though, too.
Okay, Zen garden versus rainbow explosion, I love it. So, Japan stereotypes aside, what's the real vibe? Are we talking closet doors or closet festivals?
Well, legally, Japan is a bit of a mixed bag. No nationwide legalization of same-sex marriage, which is a bummer. But some cities and prefectures are issuing partnership certificates. It's like dipping your toe in the equality pool.
Partnership certificates, baby steps. But steps nonetheless. It's like saying we see you, but less socially. Are folks cool with it, or are we tiptoeing around eggshells?
Socially, it's complicated. You have this undercurrent of harmony and not causing trouble, which can mean some LGBT individuals feel pressured to conform. But you also have a growing visibility and acceptance, especially in urban centers like Tokyo.
Right. That whole harmony thing can be a double-edged sword. It's like be yourself, just not too loudly. So, Tokyo's the place to be if you're looking for a more open scene? Oh?
Definitely. Tokyo has some vibrant LGBT districts like Shinwochinik Home. You'll find bars, clubs, and a sense of community. But outside of those spaces, things can be more subdued.
So Japan pockets of awesome, sprinkled with a dash of let's keep things quiet. Now, let's windmill our way to the Netherlands. What's the vibe there? Is it just one giant pride parade all year round?
Mira, you crack me up. The Netherlands is pretty much the gold standard. Same-sex marriage has been legal since 2001, while we're the first.
2001. That's practically ancient history in equality years. So, legally, they're killing it. What about the social scene? Is it just rainbows until it's everywhere you look?
Pretty much. The Netherlands is known for its tolerance and open-mindedness. You'll find LGBT visibility in all walks of life. And Amsterdam pride is legendary. Think boats, glitter, and a whole lot of love.
Oats, glitter, and love. Sounds like my kind of party. So, the Netherlands is basically a utopia of acceptance. Is there any downside? Any closet monsters lurking in the canals?
Well, no place is perfect. You might still encounter some prejudice or ignorance, especially in more conservative areas. But overall, the Netherlands is a very welcoming place for LGBT people.
So even rainbow utopias have a few clouds. But still, Netherlands pretty darn amazing. So, if you're LGBT and looking for a place to live your best life, windmills might be the way to go.
Definitely. Japan has its charms, but the Netherlands offers a level of legal protection and social acceptance that's hard to beat. Plus, stroopwafels. Can't forget the stroopwafels.
You always know how to seal the deal, Leo. Okay, folks. Japan cool but cautious. Netherlands rainbow explosion with snacks. Make your choice and pack your bags. If you're watching us on YouTube, let us know your thoughts in the comments.
And if you're looking for more in-depth comparisons, check out Jet Off AI. We delve into the details so you can plan your travels with confidence.
Perfect. Because who doesn't need a little help planning their next adventure? Okay, next topic. Hello, everyone. Today, let's chat about how Japan and the Netherlands welcome folks from abroad. Think of it like opening your door to a brand new adventure.
Exactly, Mira. It's like walking into a stand-up show not knowing if the audience is going to laugh or throw tomatoes. Seriously though, let's unpack the welcome mats of Japan and the Netherlands and see what's what.
First up, Japan. Often, you hear about their incredible politeness. Wow, it's like everyone's been trained in a charm school since they were tiny.
True, Mira, but sometimes it can feel a bit formal, don't you think? It's like watching a perfectly choreographed dance. You admire it, but you don't exactly feel invited to join in.
Oh, I get that. Still, that politeness can be super comforting, especially when you're trying to navigate a new place. Oh, imagine getting lost and someone bows deeply while giving you directions.
I'd probably bow back and then still get lost, Mira. But yeah, you're right. That dedication to service and respect is pretty cool. Wow. It's like everyone is secretly an ultra-polite ninja.
And what about the Netherlands, Leo? I've heard they're super direct. Whoa, no beating around the bush there.
Direct? Mira? They practically invented brutal honesty. It's like they have a truth serum in the water supply. You might ask, does this outfit look good on me? And they'll be like, honey, no.
You know where you stand. I guess it's all about appreciating the efficiency. You get honest feedback fast, which is kind of helpful in the long run.
True, Mira. Plus, the Dutch are usually super open-minded and tolerant. It's like they've created a society where everyone can be themselves as long as you don't block the bike lane.
Speaking of which, I heard Dutch people are often very helpful if you ask for directions. Wow. If you're lost, they'll probably point you the right way and maybe even share a stroopwafel.
Yeah, if you can understand them. Sometimes their accents can be a bit tricky, but seriously, they're generally very welcoming. Ooh, as long as you respect their rules and don't complain too much.
Peace and respect is key in both countries. Be polite in Japan, be direct in the Netherlands. Got it. But what about everyday interactions? What's it like to just hang out? Oh!
In Japan, you might find it takes a while to really break through the surface and make close friends. It's like cracking a super secret code. You need patience and maybe a bit of sake.
Sake always helps. But in the Netherlands, it feels like people are more upfront about wanting to connect. Wow. You might meet someone at a cafe and end up chatting for hours about philosophy or bikes.
Definitely, Mira. Plus, most Dutch people speak English really well. Oh, which makes it way easier to navigate and strike up conversations. No need for awkward charades.
No awkward charade sounds good. But I've heard sometimes the Dutch can be a bit reserved. Is that true, Leo?
Reserved? Well, they're not exactly known for over-the-top displays of emotion. It's like everyone's playing it cool. But that doesn't mean they're not friendly. They just might not hug you on the first meet.
Fair enough. So, Japan values politeness and indirect communication, and the Netherlands values honesty and directness. Sounds like it all comes down to cultural nuances and knowing what to expect.
Exactly, Mira. It's all about embracing the local customs and showing respect. Oh, and maybe learning a few basic phrases in Japanese or Dutch to really impress the locals.
Well, listeners, whether you're planning a trip or a move, we hope this helps you navigate the hospitality scene in Japan and the Netherlands. Remember to be open-minded, respectful, and ready to laugh. Ooh.
Indeed, friends. And don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this podcast on YouTube. And if you need even more insights, visit Jet AI for all sorts of travel comparisons and guides. Take care and see you next time.
All right, listeners, let's talk tech. Let's see who's got the faster Wi-Fi, Japan or the Netherlands. What's your guess?
Wi-Fi face why? Considering Japan practically invented the internet. Just kidding, but I think the Netherlands might sneak in with a win, given their digital savvy reputation.
Well, Japan is super high-tech, and the thing that had always come in my mind about technology is Japan. From bullet trains to robot restaurants, they're always ahead of the curve, right? So shouldn't they be leading the internet race too?
Well, yeah, they have all the cool gadgets, but I think when it comes to laying down the actual infrastructure and making it accessible to everyone, the Netherlands might have a slight edge.
Laying down the tracks of internet? That's an interesting way to put it. But what makes you so sure the Dutch are winning the race? Are they secretly building super fast fiber cables underground?
Maybe they're using those canals for something other than just pretty scenery. Seriously though, the Netherlands has incredible broadband coverage and some of the highest average internet speeds globally.
So, it's not just about having cool gadgets, it's about actually delivering the goods, huh? Alright, I'm starting to see your point. But what about innovation? Aren't the Japanese constantly inventing new internet technologies?
Whoa, they definitely are. Japan is a powerhouse of tech innovation. They're always pushing the boundaries with new gadgets and services. But when it comes to widespread adoption and infrastructure, the Netherlands has created a really strong network.
Japan innovates, and the Netherlands executes. That's the story so far. Do the people use internet on a daily basis? And how about the digital literacy? Is everyone in both countries online all the time?
Well, that's the reality. Both countries have super high rates of internet usage. We are talking digital natives everywhere. I bet. But I think digital literacy and maybe digital inclusion might be a little more evenly spread in the Netherlands, which is smaller and more connected.
So what you are telling is that every grandma in Netherlands can use a tablet, but some areas are a lack of usage in Japan? Whoa, you just blew my mind. Are we saying the Netherlands is more digitally accessible for everyone?
Not to insult the elders, but actually yes. It's not just about tech. It's also about having affordable access, user-friendly interfaces, and digital skills training for everyone in the Netherlands.
This is turning into a real competition. Are there government policies that support making the internet available in both countries? Is there a ministry, internet, or something?
Ooh, no ministry of internet that I know of. Ugh. Both governments have definitely invested in expanding broadband access and promoting digital skills. The Netherlands is pretty proactive in this area, though, with a clear focus on digital inclusion for all citizens.
If you are interested in technology like me, then you should support us by clicking like button in the YouTube. How about digital innovation do they have their Silicon Valley? Or should we call them something other? Such as Wasabi Valley.
No need to call them by other names, but both are innovative in technology field. Japan has giants like Sony and Nintendo, while the Netherlands is strong in areas like Sardi and FinTech. They both bring unique things in technology world.
Cybersecurity and FinTech. Got it. Ooh, you just made me realize the winner is the world, right? Both of them give a lot of contribution in technology for humankind.
You got it right, Mir. In reality, this contest is a total win-win. Each country rocks it in their own way. So the important thing is that we are using internet, and that is making us happy.
Yay. Thank you, Leo, for the great information, and I hope that you like the content, and please click the like button and see you in the next video. Wow. Wow. Oh, Leo, shopping time. Are we talking about a battle between anime figurines and windmills here?
Mira, you know me too well. It's Japan versus the Netherlands, think quirky gadgets versus, well, more practical gadgets versus, oh.
Leo, is that even a word in your comedian dictionary? I mean, Japan has entire districts dedicated to electronics and anime? Whoa, can the Netherlands compete with that level of concentrated awesome?
Hold on, Mira, the Netherlands might not have Akihabara, but they have some serious cheese markets and flower auctions. It's a totally different vibe, more tulips than tech.
So, we're talking about a potential stop and smell the roses shopping experience versus a full-on tech frenzy. I get you, but what about the price-performance balance? Is my wallet going to crime or in Tokyo or Amsterdam?
That's a good question. Japan can be pricey, especially in tourist traps, but you can find amazing quality stuff if you know where to look. Think use camera gear or vintage kimonos. Very cool.
Vintage kimonos. Now, you're talking my language. So, what are the Dutch known for that doesn't break the bank? Is it all wooden shoes and Delftware?
Well, wooden shoes are definitely on the souvenir list, but the Netherlands also has some surprisingly affordable art supplies and design items. Plus, the cheese is always a good deal, I've heard.
So, you can get a cool painting set and then celebrate with some cheese. Okay, I'm painting a picture here. Leo, between crowded Tokyo streets and cozy canals, which city wins for the chillest shopping vibe?
Definitely Amsterdam. Tokyo shopping can be intense. It's a sensory overload in the best way, but sometimes you just need a candle-side breather, you know?
True. Sometimes I want to feel like, do Mona Lisa stroll instead of dodging neon signs? Do our listeners agree with us? Maybe some have some tips and experiences to share from their shopping trips, like this YouTube video.
Speaking of tips, if you're hunting for bargains, are we talking about discount stores in Japan or flea markets in the Netherlands? Where does a savvy shopper find the hidden gems?
I picture myself haggling for vintage jewelry with a charming Dutch grandma. Maybe you'll start a trend.
You? Starting a trend? That's as likely as me giving up coffee, Mir. But seriously, the Netherlands has some great antique markets. For that camera gear, don't skip the used stores in Japan. You can find something seriously awesome.
So, Japan for high-tech treasures, Netherlands for quirky finds and chill vibes. What about food shopping? Give me the scoop on grocery store adventures.
In Japan, stores are king. You can get a decent meal at 3 a.m. In the Netherlands, stores are king. In the Netherlands, supermarkets are the way to go. But don't expect to find a lot open late at night.
Aha! So Japan is for the night owls, and Netherlands for early birds? What if I want to buy some souvenirs?
Well, if you want something like a katana or a sword, that would be Japan. For Netherlands, think Delftware pottery or maybe some delicious cheese.
Cheese is very tempting. Okay. Is it fair to say quality is better in Japan but more reasonable price in Netherlands?
I would tend to agree with that statement. Just like with these differences, if you like our conversation, you can like our video.
Let's face it, in these conditions we can always consult with Jet of AI, which country suits our taste more in order to save our money. Well,
Of course, as we always say, Jet Off AI is there for you to make you feel better.
what is your overall suggestion for budget?
Well, in both countries you can travel with budget, although luxury shopping is much more common in Japan.
Alright, Leo. Let's dive into the world of festivals and concerts. What do Japan and the Netherlands bring to the stage? I'm already picturing vibrant colors and crazy costumes.
Well, Mira, Japan is renowned for its traditional festivals. Think cherry blossom season hanami, with music and dance under the blooming trees. It's not just pretty. There are street foods and crazy good vibes.
Speaking of cherry blossoms, I've always wanted to go to a Hanami festival dressed in a full kimono with a basket full of trees. Can you imagine me trying to navigate through the crowds in that outfit? Well,
Mira, you'd be a walking, talking cherry blossom explosion. Seriously, beyond Hanami, there's the Join Matsuri in Kyoto, one of Japan's largest and most famous shows with elaborate parades and traditional music.
elaborate parades. Tell me more. Are we talking giant floats, dazzling costumes, and maybe some dragons thrown in for good measure? Wow. Because if there aren't any dragons, I might have to bring my own inflatable one.
No dragons, Mira, but plenty of impressive floats and historical costumes. It's a huge event, dating back centuries. Think of it as a living history museum with way better snacks.
You had me at better snacks. Food is definitely a major factor in my festival attendance decisions. But what about the Netherlands? Do they have anything that can compete with Japan's ancient traditions?
The Netherlands might not have the same ancient history, but their festivals are definitely unique. Think of King's Day, the entire country turns orange with street parties, markets, and canal parades. It's absolutely wild.
Orange everything. Oh, sounds like my kind of party. I wonder if they have orange-flavored snacks. I'm imagining orange ice cream, orange cotton candy. I am getting hungry just thinking about it.
You know it. There are definitely orange treats. And if orange isn't your thing, there's also the Amsterdam Dance Event, one of the world's largest electronic music conferences and festivals, attracting DJs and music lovers from all over the globe.
Electronic music, tell me more. Is it like glow sticks and neon outfits everywhere? Oh, because I've got a few outfits I've been dying to wear. I just need an excuse.
You sit right in, Mira. Sink right in, Mira. Think of it as a massive citywide dance party with different venues hosting all sorts of electronic music. It's insane, but in a good way.
That does sound pretty epic. But what about something more quirky? Do either of these countries have any festivals that are just plain weird?
Oh, Mira, Japan is full of quirky. There's the Kanamara Matsuri, the festival of the steel phallus, celebrating fertility with giant phallus-shaped objects. Ooh!
Oh, okay. I was not expecting that. I wonder what kind of snacks they serve at that festival. Ooh.
Probably not something you'd find at Hanami. In the Netherlands is the Undertibloem in Corso, a flower parade with huge floats covered in dahlias. It is really gorgeous, and it's not Yano, that other thing.
That flower parade sounds gorgeous. Okay, so both countries have some pretty interesting festivals going on. For all our listeners, it is totally worth looking up. I will be posting some pictures and videos on our Jet Off AI website, so everyone can take a look.
Wow, exactly, Mira. And I will also be posting some stand-up material, so come have a laugh.
I love laughing. It is the only workout my cheeks get. What can you do?
That is funny, Mira.
Our current topic compares the opportunities and ease of learning the local language in Japan and the Netherlands. From language schools to everyday interactions, which one gives your tongue a bigger workout?
Ah, a topic close to my heart, making fun of languages. So, Japan and the Netherlands. Let's see which one's easier to butcher, learn.
Leo, be nice. We're here to encourage language learning, not scare people away with your linguistic mishap. Oh, but seriously, let's dive in. For Japanese, what's the stew?
Well, Japanese has got that whole writing system thing going on here in Yana, katakana, kanji. It's like they're daring you to quit before you even start. Whoa.
Come on, kanji aren't that scary. It's like learning a new art form, each character tells a story. Wow, but I get it. It can be a bit overwhelming.
A bit. Mira? It's like trying to learn calligraphy while riding a roller coaster?
Oh, what about resources? Japan's got to have tons of language schools, right?
True, Japan's bursting with language schools, especially in Tokyo and Osaka. You can find everything from intensive courses to casual conversation classes. Ooh.
And what about free resources? Are there apps or online courses that make Japanese a bit more accessible?
Of course. Duolingo, MEM Rise, and a gazillion YouTube channels. But let's be real, learning kanji from an app is like trying to learn to swim from a textbook.
True, you need real-life immersion. But what about the Dutch language? Is it any easier?
Dutch. Well, it's got that whole sounding like you're gargling gravel thing going on. All those GS and HS sound like a cat clearing its throat.
Leo, you're terrible. But, yeah, Dutch pronunciation can be tricky. Is it easier to read than Japanese, though?
Definitely easier to read. They use the Latin alphabet, so at least you don't have to memorize thousands of characters. Oh, but those vowel combinations, yikes.
Less visually intimidating, but still a challenge to pronounce. Makes sense. What about resources for learning Dutch? Are they as plentiful as for Japanese?
Not quite as plentiful, but still decent. You've got language schools in Amsterdam and other cities, plus online courses and apps. But finding a native speaker to practice with can be tougher than in Japan.
Good point. What about the culture, though? Does one culture encourage language learners more than the other?
The Japanese are incredibly polite and patient, but they often switch to English if they sense you're struggling. Wow. Which can be helpful but also a bit discouraging if you're trying this.
The old helpful but hindering dilemma. What about the Dutch? Oh.
The Dutch are more direct. They'll probably correct your pronunciation without batting an eye, which can be brutal but effective.
True. A bit of tough love. So which language is easier overall?
Depends on your learning style. If you like visual challenges, Japanese might be your thing. If you prefer a more phonetic approach, Dutch might be a better fit, even though it sounds like you're perpetually clearing your throat.
You're in for linguistic adventure. And listeners, don't be afraid to make mistakes. That's how you learn. Wow.
Embrace the awkwardness. The more ridiculous you sound, the more people will laugh with you, not at you. Be sure to check out Jet Offay. Be sure to choose on language learning tips.
Great idea, Leah. And don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, if you like it, you can like it on YouTube. Wow, subscribing to our YouTube channel might even bring you some happiness. Alright, Leah. So safety and comfort for women travelers. Japan and the Netherlands. Talk about totally different vibes. I'm already picturing geishas and windmills.
Windmills, Mira? Well, maybe we can make some joke about it. You know, something about windmills and women? But yes, let's discuss the topic. Safety first, jokes later.
Always, safety is important. But I think safety-wise, Japan often gets a gold star, right? Super low crime rates. People are generally respectful. Wow, I mean, you can practically leave your phone on a table and it'll still be there when you get back.
True, Mira. I have to say, that's also kind of part of their politeness. It's a bit of a generalization. Aha! But it's a very secure environment. Still, even in Japan, some dark alleys are dark alleys wherever you go.
Dark alleys are creepy. Ouch. Everywhere. But generally, you feel pretty safe walking around at night, don't you think? Especially compared to some other places. Ooh, I've heard the Netherlands is pretty good to though.
Right, Netherlands too. But more to chill about everything kind of way. They are pretty laid back, and that attitude extends to safety mostly. I mean, Amsterdam might have some interesting situations late at night, shall we say?
Interesting situations, eh? Careful, watch out for the red light district. Whoa, I get it. But seriously, do women generally feel safe walking around solo there?
Well, it's more of a mixed bag. Daytime, sure, no problem. But late at night, it depends on the area. Aha! Pickpockets can be a thing in touristy areas, so you got to be aware. And bike lanes, they are dangerous, really.
Bike lanes of death. You're right. Those Dutch cyclists are intense. But what about cultural attitudes? Do women find they get treated differently?
Well, Japan can be a bit traditional, right? Some women might feel a bit pressured to conform, like that whole office lady thing. Mira, I bet you can make a good punchline about that.
Office lady, that's a point. Oh, the Netherlands seems more liberated. Fine. Do your thing. We don't care.
Totally, Mira. The Netherlands is all about individual freedom. Women are encouraged to be independent, have their own opinions. But sometimes that directness can be a bit of a shock if you're not used to it.
Huh? Boy, hey, your hair looks weird. Kind of direct. I got it. But overall, it's empowering, right? What about public transport? Safe and easy to use in both places?
Yes. Japan's public transport is legendary for its punctuality and cleanliness and safety. You could eat off the floor. Wow, Netherlands is good too. You can find everything, and there are many trains.
Eating off the floor. But seriously, good public transport is a huge plus for safety, especially at night. Okay, so, what's the verdict? Maybe a bit traditional. The Netherlands more freedom, but go watch out for those bikes and interesting situations.
You summed it up very nice. Both great options. The most important thing is that you visit Getafe, where we have lots of content about safe travel. Maybe we can see some comments on YouTube in our next video.
Yes, if you listen to us on YouTube, we will be glad to read your comments.
Indeed. And don't forget to leave a like here. We'll be waiting.
All right, Leah. Let's dive into the legal world, or as I like to call it, the place where good jokes go to get serious. Shall we compare and contrast Japan and the Netherlands when it comes to legal stuff, individual rights, and all that jazz?
Mira, you always manage to make legal jargon sound like a party I might actually want to attend. I am in. Let's put on our Sherlock Holmes hats. Or maybe we should just grab some coffee. You know, fuel up for the intense comparisons.
Coffee sounds amazing. But first, Japan. When I think of their legal system, I imagine ancient samurai codes mixed with modern technology. What are your first impressions?
Dude, you're not far off. It's a civil law system with some common law influence, very structured, very detail-oriented. Almost like they're writing haikus with their laws.
So, it's super organized, but what about individual rights? Do the people feel like they can speak their minds, or is it all super formal?
Well, they have a constitution that guarantees fundamental rights, freedom of speech, assembly, all that good stuff. But there's this cultural emphasis on harmony and avoiding conflict that can sometimes temper how freely people express themselves. It's like, yeah, you can say it, but should you?
So it's like, technically yes. But socially, maybe think twice. Interesting. And what about the Netherlands? Do they just run around in clubs shouting whatever they want?
Oh, easy there, Mira. They're not that wild. The Netherlands is known for its progressive policies and strong protection of individual rights. Freedom of speech is a big deal, and they're all about tolerance and diversity.
Tolerance and diversity, I like that. So they're cool with people being weird and wonderful. Ah, that sounds like my kind of place.
Pretty much. They've got a constitution that protects these rights, plus they're part of the European Convention on Human Rights. So there's extra oversight. They really value freedom of expression and personal autonomy.
Okay, so both countries have constitutions and rights, but it seems like the Netherlands is a bit more outwardly expressive about it.
That's a good way to put it. Japan has these rights, but there's this strong social pressure to conform and not rock the boat. The Netherlands is more like rock the boat, fly your freak flag. Just don't sink the ship.
Fly your freak flag. I love that. Maybe that's why all the artists flock there. So, what about legal processes? If you get into trouble, which system would you rather navigate?
That's a tough one. Japan's legal system can be very efficient. They have relatively low crime rates, and the courts are pretty streamlined. But it can also be challenging for foreigners who don't speak the language or understand the cultural nuances.
The language barrier. That's always a biggie. So, what about the Dutch courts? Are they handing out stroopwafels while you wait?
I wish. The Dutch legal system is known for its fairness and transparency. They have a strong emphasis on due process and access to justice. Plus, a lot of people speak English, so it's generally easier to navigate for foreigners.
Alright, so if you're on a local Netherlands, sounds like the way to go. What about things like privacy rights? Are they watching you with tiny cameras in your tulips?
Oh, good question. Both countries have privacy laws, but the approaches differ. Japan has been updating its data protection laws more with international standards.
And the Netherlands?
The Netherlands, being part of the EU, has to comply with GDPR, the General Data Protection Regulation. So, they're pretty serious about data privacy and protecting personal information. They are more strict than Japan, I guess.
Okay, EPA sounds intense. So, it sounds like if you're super paranoid about your data, the Netherlands might be a better bet.
Exactly. And let's not forget things like freedom of the press.
And Japan's press?
Japan's press is also free, but there's this concept called Kisha Club where journalists often develop close relationships with government officials. Some say that can affect the objectivity of their reporting.
Sounds a bit cozy. Sounds like it re-emphasizes individual rights and freedoms, while Japan has to deal with some social pressures, right?
Yeah, I think you nailed it. Both countries have their strengths and weaknesses. It really depends on what you value most in a legal system.
And now my brain is craving some delicious Japanese ramen and some savory Dutch cheese.
Perfect tending to a legal comparison? Should we tell our listeners to like and subscribe? Whoa!
Yeah, and if you're craving for more comparisons between countries, or if you're planning your next journey, head over to Jet Off AI.
And if you have any questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Ooh!
Alright, Leo. Let's dive into relaxation. Today we're pitting Japan against the Netherlands in a battle of spas, healthy living, and all things Zen. Ready to get your chill on? Aha!
Yeah, as ready as I'll ever be, Mira. Japan versus the Netherlands, eh? Sounds like a showdown between ancient traditions and modern efficiency. I'm picturing Zen gardens versus windmills.
Wow. In Japan, we've got on sun culture, think volcanic hot springs, stunning natural settings, and that feeling of ultimate relaxation. It's not just about getting clean, it's a whole ritual. Do you know anything about it?
Only what I've seen in movies, Mira. Naked old dudes sitting in hot tubs contemplating the universe? Sounds potentially awkward, but it works for them. Aha!
Oh, picture yourself surrounded by snow-capped mountains soaking in naturally heated water. And just letting your worries melt away. Plus, the water's full of minerals that are great for your skin. It's like a fountain of youth. Leo.
Fountain of youth. Huh? Maybe I should book a ticket. I'm starting to feel ancient these days. What about the Netherlands? They don't exactly strike me as a spa destination. Is it all just windmills and tulips?
Not at all. Whoa. The Netherlands has a big focus on healthy living and wellness, though in a different way than Japan. Think cycling everywhere, fresh air. And a generally active lifestyle. Plus they have some amazing spas too, often with a modern minimalist vibe.
Minimalist vibe? Minimalist vibe? So, like, a white room with a single potted plant. I prefer a little more drama. Give me a geisha serving steak, not a silent attendant offering herbal tea, wow.
Well, they do like their saunas in the Netherlands, Leah. And many spas offer treatments using natural ingredients like seaweed and mud from the Wadden Islands. It's very refreshing.
Seaweed and mud. Sounds like something I'd accidentally step in on the beach. But alright, I'm willing to be open-minded. Are there any particular Dutch relaxation techniques I should know about?
Oh, absolutely. Have you heard of Nixon? It's the Dutch are doing absolutely nothing. No phone, no book, just the...
Nixon. You mean zoning out. Dude, I'm a professional. I can Nixon with the best of them. Is that really considered a cultural thing there?
It's about embracing boredom and letting your mind wander. It's seen as a way to reduce stress and boost creativity. We should try that.
So, no coffee, no jokes. Blank staring? Sounds like my worst nightmare, Mira. Still, you know what they say, happy wife, happy lice. Happy lice, so we'll try it for you. But about our options for happiness, what do you suggest?
If Nixon doesn't suit, there are other amazing spa, healthy living, and relaxation opportunities that I can try. Oh, one that comes to mind is meditation retreats.
Meditation retreats, you say? Like monks that will shave my hair off? And make me wear those orange robes?
Come on, Leah. This is the 21st century we are talking about. Wow. Of course, you can have a private session. And if you feel lonely, there are many that offer meditation in groups too.
You almost had me. Still, I like to sleep in. But on a more serious note, it seems that both countries offer great relaxation techniques. You just have both countries offer great relaxation techniques. You just have to find something that is just right for you.
You read my mind. Aha! The key is finding what rejuvenates you. Whether it's a traditional onsen in Japan or some mud treatments you do you.
Right on. I do think that you should definitely try Nixon. The art of doing absolutely nothing at all.
Okay, are you? But I think it's great that both countries have a wide range of offerings. Wow. Just do whatever suits you best and find happiness and rejuvenation wherever you go. Alright, Leo. Let's talk about feeding the soul. Specifically, 28th. Opportunities for religious and spiritual needs. Comparing Japan and the Netherlands. Ready to zen out or windmill through some beliefs?
Windmill through beliefs. Mira, you're killing me, but okay, I'm game. Japan and the Netherlands, huh? From temples to tolerance, this could be interesting. So, where do we even start with this spiritual showdown?
Well, Japan's got Shinto shrines popping up like daisies in Buddhist temples that look like they've been plucked straight from a fairy tale. It's all so serene and picturesque. Wow. What do you think? Leo temple hopping in kimonos, anyone?
Kimonos? Mira, you're picturing a travel brochure. But yeah, you're right, Japan's got that ancient spiritual vibe down pat. But what about the Dutch? Are they all just praying to tulips and windmills?
Not quite, my sarcastic friend. While you won't find shrines on every corner, the Netherlands has a really interesting religious history and a super diverse spiritual landscape. Ooh, think grand old churches and modern meditation centers. Wow. Wow.
Modern meditation centers? See, that's what I'm talking about. Is that where they go to contemplate the meaning of life while biking? Seriously though, the Netherlands is known for its tolerance, right?
That's the key, Leo. The Netherlands has some serious laws protecting religious freedom. People can pretty much believe whatever they want, as long as they aren't hurting anyone.
So you've got your classic churches, but also space for like Wiccan covens and jetty temples. Whoa, okay, maybe not jetty temples, but you get the idea.
You never know, Leo. With the internet, anything is possible. But yeah, you'll find a whole spectrum of faiths and beliefs still existing pretty peacefully. It's a real melting pot of the metaphysical. Wow.
Okay. So, in Japan, you've got the traditional Shinto and Buddhism dominating, but what about other religions? Are they welcome to set up shop or do they get the side eye?
Well, Japan's generally pretty respectful of other religions, but it's definitely not as diverse as the Netherlands. You might find some Christian churches and mosques in bigger cities, but they're not as prominent.
Right, because the culture is pretty ingrained with those native beliefs, right? So, it's more like we're cool with you doing your thing, but we're gonna stick with our ancient traditions.
That's a fair way to put it, Leo. It's more about quiet coexistence than full-on integration. Ooh, whereas in the Netherlands, you're practically encouraged to explore all sorts of spiritual paths. Wow.
So, if you're looking for a place where you can practice your obscure religion without anyone batting an eye, the Netherlands might be your jam?
Precisely, Leo. It's like a spiritual buffet, take your pick. But if you're drawn to ancient rituals and breathtaking temples, Japan might be calling your name.
Got it. So, one's got the historical vibe, the other's got the anything goes vibe. This makes it easier for people to choose.
Both Japan and the Netherlands offer unique opportunities to connect with something bigger than yourself. It just depends on what you're looking for.
And as always, don't forget to like this podcast on YouTube. Also, feel free to write your comments and we'll answer them on Jet Off Air.
Let's dive into social equality, respect for minorities, and diversity in Japan and the Netherlands. It's like comparing sushi and stroopwafels, both delicious, but totally different.
Sushi and stroopwafels, Mira. You're always hungry. But seriously, this is a good one. Japan and the Netherlands are fashionably distinct when it comes to social structures.
Japan often emphasizes cultural homogeneity. It's known for its strong sense of national identity, which, while admirable, can sometimes overshadow minority groups.
True, Mira. You've got the Ainu, the Burakamin, and resident Koreans who, despite living in Japan for generations, sometimes face discrimination. It's like they're perpetually waiting for the punchline, but the joke never arrives.
Oh, that's heavy, Leo. In contrast, the Netherlands prides itself on its multiculturalism and inclusive policies. It's like a vibrant tulip garden with every color imaginable. Wow.
Right. The Dutch have a long history of welcoming immigrants and refugees. You see this reflected in their policies and social attitudes, though of course, it's not perfect. There are always weeds in the tulip garden, Mira.
Speaking of policies, Japan has been slowly making progress with some recognition of Ainu culture, but it still lags behind many Western nations in areas like LGBT rights.
Precisely. Japan's approach is often more subtle. They might nod politely while quietly sticking to tradition. Their gestures are so confusing. But the Netherlands, they're usually upfront. Like, yeah, what's your problem?
The Dutch directness. Well, the Netherlands has strong anti-discrimination laws, and same-sex marriage has been legal since 2001. It's like a rainbow flag waving proudly over a canal.
Absolutely. And you've got a whole mix of cultures blending in cities like Amsterdam and Rotterdam. But let's be real, mere integration isn't always smooth sailing. You still see tensions and debates about immigration.
In Japan, the concept of gauging foreigner can sometimes create a sense of separation, even for long-term residents. You're always kind of seen as an outsider. Ouch.
Yeah, it's like being a permanent tourist. But hey, at least you get to keep discovering new rhyme and places. Meanwhile, the Netherlands has its own challenges with Islamophobia and debates about national identity. No country is immune, Mira.
It's all about continuous progress, isn't it? And the Netherlands is often at the forefront, advocating for human rights on a global scale. The Netherlands.
Agree, the Dutch like to think of themselves as progressive, and often they are. But it's important not to gloss over the issues they still face. It's easy to admire from afar, but living there can be a different story.
Well, overall, the Netherlands stands out for its legal protections and open dialogue about diversity. Japan, while respectful in many ways, has more work to do in fully embracing multiculturalism. What do you think, listeners? Do you agree?
Couldn't have said it better myself, Mira. It's a complex picture, but one thing's clear, both countries have their strengths and weaknesses. And hey, maybe someday we'll all live in a world where stroopwafels and sushi bring everyone together.
Yeah. Let's dive into the wonderful world of taxes and social security for our long-term immigrants. You ready to crunch some numbers, or at least pretend to?
Numbers, Mira? My brain cells are already staging a protest. I'd rather watch paint dry, but fine. Let's talk Japan versus Netherlands. At least the coffee's strong.
Speaking of strong, Japan's got a pretty comprehensive system, right? What's your ring? Your ring? Like a sumo wrestler in the ring. Oh!
Sumo wrestlers and taxes, a match made in paperwork, hell? But yeah, if you're a resident in Japan, you're generally taxed on your worldwide income. No escaping that, buddy.
So, it's not just the delicious raiment there after they want a piece of everything. What about the Dutch, though? Are they a bit more chill?
Chill and taxes in the same sentence? That's a rare combo. The Netherlands also taxes worldwide income for residents, but they've got these things called tax treaties to avoid double taxation. Fancy!
Sounds like a James Bond movie, The Treaty of Taxes. Okay, so avoiding double dipping is good. What about retirement? Can our long-term folks actually retire comfortably?
Comfortably is relative, Mira. In Japan, there's the national pension system, or kokumin kaien, and the employees' pension insurance, kosingien kaien. It's a whole alphabet soup of financial planning.
Makes it sound kinda cute. But seriously, how does it work? Do you need to sell your soul to the system to get anything back? I bet.
Soul selling isn't usually required, but diligent contributions are. Basically, contribute long enough and you get a pension later. Simple, right?
Simple in theory, maybe. So, contribute. What happens if you suddenly decide to pack your bags and leave? Do you lose everything?
Well, there are some situations where you can get a lump sum withdrawal if you leave Japan after contributing for a certain period. Think of it as a thanks for playing consolation prize.
I like that. What about the land of windmills and tulips? How does the Netherlands handle retirement for our international friends? Ooh!
The Netherlands has a pretty solid system too. There's the state pension IOW and often supplementary pensions through employers. They take their cheese and their retirement seriously.
Cheese and pensions. That's the Dutch way. Sir, besides the cheese, what other social rights are we talking about? Unemployment benefits? Inquiring minds want to know?
Okay, social rights time in Japan. There's universal healthcare, so everyone's generally covered. It's not always perfect, but it's there. Kinda like free coffee, but not quite.
Still hefty, but not quite. So, you still have to pay something. Sounds about right. But universal healthcare is a big plus. What about the Netherlands? Do they also believe in taking care of everyone who sniffles and sneezes?
Oh, absolutely. The Netherlands has mandatory health insurance. You gotta get it, or they will find you. They're serious about their healthcare. Those Dutch yes.
Sounds a bit intense. But hey, if it keeps everyone healthy, I'm all for it. Any other social safety nets? What if you lose your job, for example? Can you still afford stroopwafels? Oh!
Stroopwafels are essential, Mira. In Japan, there's unemployment insurance, but eligibility can be tricky. Gotta jump through hoops and prove you're actively looking for a job. It's a whole dance.
A job hunting dance. I can picture it now. What kind of tunes would you play?
Definitely something upbeat but slightly melancholic. Maybe some J-pop with a touch of existential dread. But In the Netherlands, unemployment benefits are generally more generous than Japan, but again, eligibility depends on your work history.
So, the Dutch are a little more generous with the unemployment goodies. Good to know. Overall, though, it sounds like both countries have systems in place to support long-term immigrants. It's just a matter of figuring out the details, right? Oh.
Exactly. Navigating these systems can feel like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube blindfolded, but it's doable. It's doable. And hey, if you're moving somewhere long-term, it's worth the effort to understand your rights and responsibilities.
Totally agree. Do your homework, folks. Read the fine print. And maybe hire a tax advisor who speaks fluent legalese.
Legalese now, that's a language I'll never master. But yeah, get some expert advice. It'll save you headaches and maybe some serious cash down the line. Plus, it gives you something to talk about at parties. Whoa.
Talking about taxes? Only you, Leah. But seriously, great advice. Thanks for walking us through the maze of taxes and social rights.
My pleasure, Mira. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to go lie down and recover from all this number talk.
Coffee sounds amazing right now. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed our comparison. We'll be back with more country showdown soon. Ooh.
And check us out on Jet Off AI for more detailed info and travel tips. We're here to make your international life a little bit funnier and a whole lot easier. Until next time, folks. Adios!
Our current topic, we compare the rate of meeting specific interests into countries. From niche hobby clubs to specialized events and community engagement, we bring our listeners details on what these countries offer for varied interests.
Right you are, Mira. I've always said the world's a stage, and these countries, they're packing the houses with all sorts of acts. Let's see which locale truly caters to the eclectic tastes out there.
If you're into, say, competitive origami, they probably have a national championship. Oh, the dedication to niche hobbies is just Mindelbauen.
True, Mira. They make dedication an art form. But tell me, can you yodel off a mountaintop in Japan and find a dedicated following?
But speaking of art, their manga and anime scene is like a whole universe. Wow. Fan clubs, conventions, cosplay events, it's a cultural phenomenon.
True. The cosplay is impressive. Oh, but what about something a bit more earthy? Can you find a thriving community for competitive clog dancing like you can in the Netherlands?
Competitive club dancing? Is that even a thing? Oh, okay, Netherlands, you win on the weird but wonderful niche.
It's very much a thing. And not to be outdone, the Netherlands has a massive cycling culture that's more than just transportation, it's a way of life. Dedicated clubs, races through tulip fields.
Sounds picturesque, but what about a spiritual retreat? Japan's Zen gardens and meditation centers are globally renowned.
True, but the Netherlands, with its open-minded culture, offers some pretty progressive spiritual communities too. Ever heard of windmills?
Oh, windmills. Leo, where do you come up with these things? Still, Japan has tea ceremonies, ancient calligraphy workshops, varies in.
Yeah, well, the Netherlands has cheese tasting tours that's practically a religion to some folks. Oh, plus they're big on community gardens, where you can bond over growing the perfect tomato.
Alright, point taken, but let's talk tech. Wow, Japan's robotics industry and tech expos are like a geek's paradise.
That's undeniable, but let's not forget about the Netherlands and its innovative water management systems. It's less flashy, but pretty essential. Water geeks, unite.
Essential indeed. And I hear they have some pretty impressive DJ streams. Are we talking niche or mainstream now?
Well, even within the mainstream, you can find very niche subgenres of electronic music that flourish there. It's a land of musical microclimates.
Oh, I can see that. But it seems like Japan is just an endless array of subcultures. Street fashion and haruka, themed cafes, you name it, they got it.
True, but the Netherlands has a very strong DIY culture. People are encouraged to create, innovate, and experiment, whether it's art, music, or technology. They really value that independent spirit.
Both countries offer a ton of opportunities for people to connect with their passions. Ooh, it just depends on what your particular passion is.
So if you're asking me which place is better for following your boar bliss, I'd say check out Jeddah Faye to figure out what sparks your joy, then see where that compass points you.
Whether you're all about Zen gardens or clog dancing competitions, both Japan and the Netherlands have something unique to offer. Ah, and don't forget to hit that like button on YouTube.
Indeed, folks. Don't be shy. And be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our next showdown. Whoa. Until then, keep chasing those passions wherever they may lead.